me and Ryan have been officially welcomed to the jungle that is Barstool Sports.
Our white whale, Sidney Crosby.
Shave his head! Shave his head! Shave his head!
Ryan Whitney, Paul Bissonette, R.A., Mike Grinelli, Spittin Chiclets.
What is up, folks? Welcome to episode 576 of the Spittin Chiclets podcast, presented to you by Pink Whitney. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see Yans and Biz are with me. We're back, catching up. And the reason we're all here together is really Pink Whitney. We've talked about it for years. And it's big time golf boating season, beach season, lake season. That's Pink Whitney season. It's member guest season. I know I talked about that last week on one of my rambles. It's Pink Whitney season. That's what goes into member guests. Just a couple nips here and there, a couple drinks, a couple Pink Whitney sodas to get the birdie juice flowing. But I digress because it's all about Pink Whitney. Guys, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. I think it's 2 weeks in a row. I just come on, I kind of talk. Couple people say, hey, I like hearing you talk. Couple people say I had to listen to that. I need to jump out the window. Yeah, I was rambling.
You are a world-class rambler.
The gift.
It was like talking to myself. I really kind of was just like, all right, well, I'll just say whatever comes into my mind. And then at one point, it's like, you're done, dude. You got nothing. You've repeated yourself. But I was like, boys. So that was Monday. And now it's Wednesday, boys. And I said, guys, can you come on and join me? Because it was 2 days ago I went on and rambled. I'd love to hear from you guys how the summer's going.
Well, normally we would have picked back up on Monday, but Fishy behind the scenes, who helps us out with everything, all the vlogs, sandbaggers, you name it, he does it, edits the pod. He's going to Newfoundland. So I don't know if he's going to link up with Terry Ryan and Terry Ryan Sr. to maybe get some info on how guys are keeping in shape for the ball hockey tournament we got coming up that we just announced in Boston. The Stranglers and your delinquent team will be on hand, I'm sure, Yandel.
Oh yeah. The group chat has been firing at all cylinders. I just got to wait for the right time to bring Coach Whitney in. I know he's coming off of a tough loss in the basketball world, but that's not his world. He's a hockey guy. He's a street hockey. I remember Whit playing ball hockey back in the day. Unbelievable. I wish he'd be out there on the ice with us or on the court with us, but to have him at the helm is going to be amazing.
So what happens when you guys lose and he's cracking smiles on the sideline because he can't win the big one? Are you going to stick with the guy who isn't really emotionally invested, or are you just going to stick with him?
I think you're going to see a different side of Whit, especially on home surface. His kids are probably going to be at the game. You got to show up. And he's used to coaching now. I think when he coached you, he wasn't coaching Ryder's team, so he's comfortable behind that bench.
He was coaching BU. He was helping.
I never coached BU.
No, he got
Keith
a track
just said
suit.
the home surf and turf. By the way, that was awesome. If
Nantucket mode.
You're crazy if
Good
you
job,
think
Biz.
it hasn't gone through my mind that, like, all right, that was Biz's team. He just can't get it done. I'm going over to the Stranglers. Like, I'm from Boston. It's in Boston. I'm going with Keith. Like, I love your team. Great guys, but you're never going to win a thing. But now, yes, it's like, all right, you're involved in this. Like, if I go on to lose to you, then I was the problem. It's like Clemmer in that basketball game.
Yeah.
He was the issue. Good guy. You know Clemmer, Biz from Survivor, skinny guy.
I love Clemmer.
Great guy.
He was the one who was getting in my head about the discrepancy of the idol being brought out. So he was in my kitchen for a day at the house, and finally I called Jeff D-Low, and he's like, tell Clemmer to shut up. Like he's completely making this up, and Clemmer watches every season of Survivor. So I just didn't know who to believe.
And he wasn't first out, but he was first in the house, I believe. Or maybe Mincy. All I know is
I'm getting
Clemmer.
PTSD. Let's not bring up Survivor.
Yeah, true.
No, yeah, we don't have to bring up Survivor. Like, that one still stings, though. I'm not gonna lie. I can't catch a W, but I was the first to the house. I'm sorry. I'm not moving on from Survivor yet. I was with him. He was sitting like a cat, rubbing his feet. He's all skinny and like flexible and shit, and he's sitting there and he's just over and over and over the gameplay, what he could have done different. I was like, Clemmer, you were never winning.
That was all of us.
So Clemmer, I'm up in Berlin, Connecticut, Monday. 2.5 hours there, 2 hours on the way home. I went up to be an assistant coach on the Kirk Minahan Show basketball team. They played the Barstool New York team. It was the third time playing. Barstool New York won the first. Kirk's team wins the second. Well, in the second game, Clemmer was on the New York coaching staff. He was part of that team that lost. It was for cinema. I talked about this. The guy, he was a big Minifan. He passed away. They did it in honor of him. He played on the Hoops team. His brother joined the team.
His brother was
Clemmer's on
good.
the losing team. Then they fire Clemmer, and he goes over to Kirk's team. Well, buddy, they got Dana Beers too, and Clemmer. I mean, this guy couldn't make a
He's like
decision on the
Luka
bench.
Doncic, isn't he?
I'm not
Yeah.
like what is it, Monday morning quarterbacking? Like I actually, Clemmer's a good dude, but he comes over, and if I go over to the Stranglers and we lose, I'm Clemmer. I told you one time, a guy, I was walking, I was at a restaurant or a bar, and the guy's like, Clemmer, just fucking with me, like saying that's me. I'm like, man.
I love that.
I know.
That's your doppelganger.
That's a compliment.
Now, what? So Kirk was out of control. He was like Dennis
Dude.
Rodman on
Buddy.
acid out there.
They should have
he was-
charged $30 to watch that game because I watched it for free and I feel like I owe somebody some money because Kirk was so dude, he ripped the ref's whistle off
He was
his
choking him
jersey
with his
and
whistle.
fired it.
Forget that was. I think that was first half, but
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it was.
He's the leader of the team. He's the captain, coach. He's at all, and he's given great speeches at practice. After practice, he's writing messages to the group before the game. Nice like pump up speech, like let's go. I didn't expect that before the whistle dropped. He went over and elbowed Rico in the head. He was elbowing people in the side of the head. He didn't
looked
get
like
one
Ekblad.
technical. Like you said, Biz, he choked out the ref nearly with the whistle. He fired that about 50 yards. No tech there. I'm like, wow, I guess it's just prison rules. Or Minahan rules, actually, is what it should be called.
Yeah.
But they had Dana. But once Gay Pat got injured, he tore his ACL. And then you guys know Mutt?
No.
Just from that show.
Okay, so Gay Pat tears his ACL. Kirk says no, you can't get any new players. But Dana, who's now in Chicago but started the Barstool New York basketball team, he's allowed to come play as long as Kirk can have the refs. Maybe Kirk knew he could choke out the ref with his necklace, and that's why he wanted him in the game. The one ref was horrible for both sides. You know, when you go to a game and you're like, this ref is just, it's not even like one team can complain. It's just, this guy's horrible.
One of the refs tried out for Kirk's team.
Yeah. That was the horrible one. Mo.
Yeah, he was bad.
I mean, I don't even know what a foul is. I'm like, fucking hey, Mo, bad call. Because everyone else is telling me it's a bad call. So, but I got this. This guy, Mutt, he's unbelievable. He worked in Boston sports radio for years, and now he has Mutt Stack, just a must read every Friday morning, boys. He writes about, I don't know, Boston sports, media. This poor bastard got hit by a car a week before the game, Biz.
What?
Yeah, a 90-year-old woman ran the guy over. A lot of people thought he might have been making it up, but I show up. This guy's
Insurance.
No
so
get
Gay
well,
Pat's-
Pex, eh? You're full of shit. Suck
People
it up
were
and do a
questioning-
It was
couple
outside of
double
a
dickies.
church, Biz.
Get on the line.
It was outside of a church. Old lady. He thought she said, go ahead. She just buries his leg. So he's mangled, and his elbow's mangled. He landed on his dome. Just a tough scene. So we got guys in crutches, but yeah, by the end of the game, it was just Dana was dominant. Like, it sucked. And I'm there, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, fuck, well, I didn't do anything. I mean, I'm just part of the losing team. They won the game before. Still a cool experience. The arena was rocking. I'm talking like, I was into it. I was like, this is...
I was like, I shouldn't have been surprised, but there were a lot of people in there.
Lot
It
of
looked
people.
like it was jam-packed. The energy was high. Obviously shocked that with Kirk doing his antics that he didn't get a technical and thrown out of the game. But
I don't even think he got a
that's
foul.
why the people show up, right? He's the show. One other thing you mentioned last pod, and Yan's like, you probably got this sent over. I haven't even opened mine yet, but I was going to save it for the pod. Have you guys gotten this bad boy? The
haven't gotten
internet?
that yet.
Yeah.
You haven't gotten it?
No.
Well, the Foreplay guys and Bob Does Sports have collaborated on a golf tournament.
That's
that we're
Kirk's
going
boy, Bob.
in
Hey, someone was chanting that during the basketball game.
chanting what?
Robbie Burger.
Those were Rico Riders. Rico
Yeah.
Riders had people show up. Kirk also
So-
kicked Pat's crutches at one point.
I saw that.
So we're going
Go
to
ahead,
the
Biz,
Ozarks. I'd never even heard of the Ozarks.
So I
until
owe an
that
apology.
show.
I said it was Mississippi. It's Missouri. My bad.
Missouri. I hadn't even heard of Ozarks until that show came out with Jason Bateman. Is it Jason Bateman?
Yes. Great call.
What's the name of the show? Ozarks, right? It's
Yeah,
called
good
the
show,
Ozarks.
too.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I got into it. So we'll be heading there for a couple days because the Foreplay boys are putting that on with Bob does. And congrats to Joey Colcuts, who just had his first kid as well. So they're buzzing, got everything going. Anything else Barstool related that we need to mention? I had a few things here.
Besides Dave not showing
When's
up to
that
that
summer
game,
host starting?
Oh, that's next week, I believe.
Is that going to be like a live type watch or?
Apparently, what I've been told is like they have certain people that are with them, and some of it's live.
Okay.
But then every week an episode will come out. That thing's pretty sick.
You are.
I mean, we're playing
invited.
for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Nobody knows the format. Nobody knows the teams or anything, but that should be fun.
Oh, that gives me
Have you
anxiety.
played any golf, Biz?
Not really. I think I've played once since I've been back.
Where are you?
What do you mean? Oh, I'm in Vancouver right now. So I've finally finished my journey. As most of you know, I talked to you when I was in Jackson. I hopped on. I wasn't supposed to hop on, but because we got Tarnasky on, I came on just to kind of tee up the interview. And that day, I was leaving to meet a buddy to go on my first fly fishing experience.
Oh,
Now, have either of you been fly fishing before?
Yes.
One time.
One of the most.
Biz, we did it in Arizona. It was like a team building. Maybe you.
I was
there.
not on the team. I must have got.
He got benched for the fly fishing excursion.
No,
too.
it was probably before he was there.
But so one of the guys that we went with, he's a guide at Jimmy Kimmel's Lodge, where he knows my buddy Ross. So we just went out, the three of us. Like he had an off day at work, but most helpful guy. And like taught, like I didn't know the technique and how to throw it and where to throw it. This guy's fucking. He's paddling in the boat. We got the seat at the front and obviously the back. And for the first 2 hours, I was kind of just learning how to cast and cast properly. He'd bring us and tell us, hey, throw it there, throw it over there. And I started getting the hang of it. Few times I got bites in the first couple hours, but I didn't pull back quick enough. But it was cool. Like you get a rush, right? Seeing the fish come up, grab your, what do they call them?
Fly?
Salmon flies. Have you ever seen these big ass salmon flies? They're literally just birthed, I think, to be food for these fish inside these streams. Why are you laughing?
That's what they'll put on Earth for us to get eaten by some salmon.
I think they serve no other
they are
purpose.
salmon,
where they're like caterpillars and they turn into quote unquote butterflies. They're like the caterpillars of the rivers, and then they.
So
hatch.
when they get eaten, it's like, okay, my life is.
I did it.
My life's complete.
Yeah. How
My
big
life's
is
complete.
the salmon?
No, they're called salmon flies, but oh god,
Are they salmon?
No, I don't think you fly fish.
No,
for
there
salmon.
was cod, trout. There's one called something like with like a. I'd have to look it up. I was actually.
So
talking
when you
with-
say salmon flies, it's actually salmon.
the
fish,
no,
am
they're just called salmon flies,
Okay,
and I believe it's because they have this underbelly that's a very similar color, and that's what actually attracts the fish to come up and bite it. And once again, like as you're going in the river, this guy will tell you, hey, that's where the fish are. That's normally where they're going to hang out because they're not being taken away by the stream. So they're essentially kind of just waiting, and then boom, a salmon fly hit the water and they grab it. Well, I hadn't caught one for 2 hours, so I decided to start eating my sandwich. I put my rod down. I'm halfway through my sandwich, and Adnar, our guide, is like, I think you got one. And then all of a sudden it's on. I caught a fish while I was eating my sandwich.
He's like, I'm eating.
I'm eating now. So, it was a big one. It was about a 25-inch, I think that one was a cod.
Bro.
Or a trout.
Listen, we're all not fishermen here, clearly. But
Yeah.
cod isn't a type of fish. Doesn't that just stand for catch of the day?
I don't know. You're
Now,
putting
the
my
sad
fucking
part
mind in
is that none of us can answer this. If that's actually what a cod is cod
I don't believe
actually
cod
a
is-
fish?
I could be 100% wrong.
Fish
As
is going to
someone
help
who's-
us out. He's a fisherman.
As someone who's going to Newfoundland to catch cod in this summer, cod is absolutely a fish.
It is a fish? Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
Cod is the common name.
This is the one I caught when I was eating my sandwich.
kind
Hey,
of a little guy, right?
pro
Or is
move
that
holding
big?
it out.
What do you?
I know. Why are you
Pro move
holding it like a
out so it looks
Wyatt
bigger.
would?
That's what you do.
It's
What
like
you-
the guy Adnan had to be like, hey, put out your hands, Biz. I'll put the fish in there. Like, why didn't you just grab him by the gills there?
I fucked up his name. It's actually Adair Dickerson, and he spends time between Jackson, Wyoming, and that Idaho pocket where it's some of the best fly fishing on the planet, I guess. I didn't know Lil Sass was a fly fisherman. He actually headed there like a week after I was there, and he was sending me messages about what he caught, and he's like an expert. He goes there all the time to do it. So this guy treated us to an unreal day. Now that is as big as they get in there with though. That's you'd be hard pressed to find a bigger one than that. My buddy caught one that was probably about 2 pounds bigger, my buddy Ross. And it was cool because when he caught it, it had a big gouge in the back of it where like an eagle, like this is one of the biggest breeding grounds for bald eagles in like the world, this little pocket that we were in. So they just swooped down and tried to grab fish. So the fish that he caught had like a scar from just almost getting snatched by a bald eagle. And when I say that, when I was on this river and we did this all day long, you're out in the sun, he's got a great playlist of tunes going, like nothing else matters. It takes you away from all your stress and all your everyday troubles, and you are in the moment just fly fishing. And it's something that I will continue to do because I absolutely loved it. And shout out to Adair, our guide, who made it very pleasant.
Biz, so you did it from the boat? I thought like you do it in the water with the waders on.
You can, but this is a strip where you get dropped in. You could do it one or two ways, and this is the way during that season where, and also the current there is pretty strong, so you could go from being in like 10, 12 foot deep like river to all of a sudden you're near the rocks. And some people you did see were out of the boat and had that whole outfit on, but the way that we tacked it was that the 3-seater. But he's in the middle, like pedaling over from side to side, telling you where to go. So a great little experience for me. And then I went horseback riding a couple times. A guy, Shane, that I met there at the $1 Million Cowboy a couple times ago, he's helping out on this ranch. And interesting story, like his brother, who just had his 4th wedding anniversary, he like went over to Mongolia at one point. And I didn't realize how hardcore Mongolians are, where he would be riding for like 3,000 miles where they would
on a horse
on horseback.
That's like Boston to LA.
Buddy, they are just going all over, where there's people in Mongolia where they just set up these, oh God, I forget the name of it. Like a Yeti or something, not a Yeti. Your fish is going to know the name of it, but they can basically put up these impromptu homes. That's like a tent. And they'll go switch season to season, and they'll just pack up on to the next place. So these people are just straight up living off the land. And he went.
What are they doing?
A yurt.
A yurt. A yurt is what it's called. So I don't know if he's
fish has Google sick.
Come on, he's helping us out with these words. People are at home or in their car punching the steering wheel. They can't get these words, but you guys know I have a small vocabulary. 2 languages though.
But Biz, what do they do on these treks? Are they like hunting, or they?
That's it. It's just journeys. They just go on these fucking journeys. That's them. That's them living, buddy. They live off the land. That's all they need. It's like going back to the Braveheart times.
So the guy who took you horseback riding, his brother went and just was like a nomad in Mongolia.
In Mongolia, yeah. Shane Michaels, the guy from Jackson, Wyoming, I was just talking about, and his brother finally ended up moving back, and he's kind of sending me all this information on the go right now. And he really appreciates Mongolian culture, which is the most important, is what he said. Yeah.
I'd last one day on one of those voyages, Keith.
1 day?
Maybe
one full day?
Maybe 1 hour.
And what's cool too is I got lucky by chance, and that lot that I ended up snagging in Jackson, my neighbor there, I remember I mentioned he's from Saginaw, Michigan. He does all like the quadding and all the snowmobiling. He has all the licenses. So in the wintertime, if you wanted to go on a snowmobile excursion, he can do it. And the girl that he's dating and serious with, her name's Sarah Hoffman. She's like an expert horse rider too. So they do all that right there. So it was cool because she got to bring us out on the horses as well. So although I did a faux pas, the time I went out with Sarah, I wore shorts and a t-shirt, and people were just giving it to me for having shorts on a horse. That's an absolute no-no in the horse community.
Wearing jeans to the beach.
He asked for like samples of horses. They're like, dude.
And that was it.
Why?
Man.
Why can't you wear shorts? Like, what's the faux pas about it? That your legs are gonna get like all chafed?
I just think
it's
it's
the Cowboys. It's disrespectful to the Cowboys. You got to wear jeans and a fucking hat and shit. You got to do it right. You got to show them the respect that they deserve when you're out doing something that they do.
Yeah, I ended up going. I met up with Brooks Orpik a couple times too. We went down to that Snake River Sporting Club, which is always a good time. But I kind of threw out the L5S1, so I basically just watched him golf for 9 holes. He was a stick, and then he had 18 holes to play later that day. But I just still marvel at what type of shape he's in.
He looks more jacked than he did playing because his cardio probably doesn't skate as much. I saw him at the draft or something. He looks so fucking good.
Stallion.
By the way, you just brought up your L5S1.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, I was in Pure Hockey. I had to get Wyatt a stick, and one of the guys working there, I don't remember his name, he told me he's like studying or has been doing like sports science stuff, some course at Harvard. I'm kind of maybe making up the Harvard, but he's working at Pure Hockey, and he's like, your hips are all fucked up, I can tell. And he's like, I can fix you in 2 minutes. And I'm laying on the seat that the kids, they get new wheels, they heat them up, and then they sit. And this guy's like,
you're doing ART at the fucking sports store?
This guy, he adjusted my hip. I got a hockey stick. I'm holding it underneath. He's pulling my knee. I'm pushing down, the push-pull effect. There was a woman, the other guy at Pure Hockey mentioned, that woman just took a picture of you doing that. I said, I don't know. I can't control this at this point. This guy adjusted my hip and then went and put a 5/8 sharpening on Wyatt's skates. It was the most... I said, I don't know if anyone's ever had like a chiropractic skate sharpener guy. So that was... And the reason I just thought of that is because he said I could fix Biz in 2 minutes. He talks about the L5S1. He talks about all the treatment. He's like, I got him.
Did it help
I need
you?
5 minutes with him. Yeah, it actually helped me.
Hey, we should get his number, have him work for the Gargoyles. He can be the skate sharpener and the physio guy.
Yeah, and the bus driver.
No. Actually, we should make sure that he comes and helps the Stranglers.
Yes, you're right. Get the boys
I'll go
loose.
back in there. I'll say, hey, you can put all the rollerblades on the skates, and then you can adjust the whole team. We win a title at the Hartford.
Come on.
Done.
We're not doing rollerblades, though. We're on foot.
Well, it's just giving them other business from the tournament.
Yeah, true.
So we're doing physios now at the fucking ball hockey thing. I'll have a full-time masseuse.
Well, we had the cold tub last year. That was a step up.
Yeah, we drowned
it. Cold tub was a nice touch.
Probably just all beer in it.
Yeah,
how did the tournament go for Mila?
It was good. It was so I don't know for any of you listen if you've ever been to Delaware, not the greatest state in our lovely 50, but the closest airport's Philly, hour and 45 minutes away, which is always nice when you have to drive hour and 45, and then middle of the fields are in the middle of this cornfield, and there's just surrounded by fields. It's actually pretty cool once you get there, and there's just teams from all over the U.S. playing, all ages, from grad year 2030 to 2034 is playing. So it was a ton of fun, a lot of good lacrosse, some great teams. I think Georgia won for Mila's age. They were a wagon. They had some stud players. But yeah, it was cool. It's because in Florida, we mostly only play against the Florida teams, and you're playing against the same 5 or 6 teams. Then to go up and see teams from New Jersey, New York, Long Island, Massachusetts, you play in different competition is always fun. Like you remember going to hockey tournaments when you were little. Like it was always huge for us to play against Canadian teams to like kind of measure where you are, and that's kind of the same for us in lacrosse with the kids. Like in Florida, like the measuring sticks, Long Island and Philly, and the states up here. So it was fun. They did great. They lost in the quarterfinals, and they played really well. The thing that's stupid, which I didn't like, was the playoff games were only 2 10-minute quarters, where they had been doing 4 10-minute quarters. So it was just a half, basically, which I thought was stupid. So, I mean, you're already there. You might as well play the whole game. But it was a blast. Great venue and a lot of fun.
I'm looking at, I just pulled up a picture of Delaware. Well, if you Google Delaware, a beach picture pops up. Looks like Nantucket. Now, with the slander of Delaware there's the entire right side of the state's on the ocean. There's got to be some nice spots.
I think that it's literally divided in half, where it's like a lot of wealth is in half of it, and then there's like a very poor aspect to it. I want to say that gunpowder or ammunition was a big reason why like some of them accumulated so much wealth in the early days as America. This might be completely wrong.
I believe it.
I'm so interested in where you like heard this or how you think
I
this is
don't know. I don't remember.
That's why I believe you, though. Like,
It would
I
make
sold-
sense. They had a
I
ton of gun statues all over like the downtown and stuff.
they do?
No.
Oh,
thought they did. So I Googled Delaware gunpowder specialist. I'm not seeing a ton.
maybe guns, maybe ammunition.
Yeah, because maybe during like the early times.
Yeah, where there was like
and it's on the
muskets and stuff.
water.
I don't know.
I really
No.
hope
If
I
you
think that
Google,
they
because
made
we
up.
did it. If you Google what is Delaware famous for, I swear to God, it says the beaches and no state tax. Google it right now, Whit.
That's Biz's dream right there.
I know.
What is Delaware known for most? Delaware state facts.
Wait, have you
I
ever
don't
been
know.
horseback riding?
It's the second smallest state in the United States. It packs
Biz,
a
what's
punch,
number
though.
one? Biz,
The
what's
small-
number one?
The smallest? I would
Yeah.
assume Hawaii.
Yeah, definitely. Rhode Island.
Hawaii. There's like 8 islands.
Rhode
Okay.
Island,
Hawaii.
isn't it?
Well, I didn't know I was showing up to the fucking quiz.
Who wants
Like, maybe say like
States and
Iowa or
capitals.
like Hawaii.
I failed my states and capitals test when I got to
He's
Saginaw,
like
Michigan.
California or Texas. Is it? It might be Texas.
I failed my states and capitals test when I got to Saginaw, Michigan. I was a little bit late getting there, and I'll never forget. Like I was in grade 11, or no, I was in grade 12 at the time, and they put me in grade 9 geography. And I'll never.
No,
I had,
you're like
no.
you were like Billy Madison.
dude, I had grade 9 geography, grade 11 English. I had a class called current events. I had gym and religion. Those were my 5 classes. And I got called in after 2 months of being there. And the coach is like, hey, you're like, if you don't pick it up, you're going to fail out. And they're going to like basically say, fuck off. It was this place called Nouvelle Catholic Central. And like, I got threatened to get put on probation. So I had to fucking get my ass in a gear and pass grade 9 geography.
He's like, hey, take this one class. It's really easy, and I think you'll be good at it. It's called sampling. You can just do samples for 45 minutes. You'll be great.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We're back to the samples. I saw that in the best of episode. I still don't think it's crazy if you're going to a new ice cream shop, if you get 2 samples per scoop. There's got to be people.
per scoop.
I just
or
left
2
Jack and
samples
Charlie's
total?
with. They
What?
don't do samples.
That's
Yeah,
fucking criminal. That's criminal.
I'm
if you don't
fine
do
with 1 sample. 2 is like kind of an eye roll, but you got into the
Okay.
weeds that night.
All
man.
right.
You were
I'm
lost
so
in the sauce of the sample game.
okay. All right. You know what? I'm going to take the L on the sample game, but I'm going to give you guys a scenario, and you're going to tell me if I'm crazy or not. So I'm not going to say I'm not going to say the business. I'm going to say where it was. But if you buy a 10-pack of something, okay, like let's say what do you think is an adequate amount of time before it expires?
Well, it depends if we're talking milk or T-shirts, bud.
No, okay. It has to do with workout, with a workout class. If you buy a 10-pack,
You should have 6 months.
Oh, I kind of think if you were to buy a 10-pack of like workout classes, like a 10-pack Pilates class, for example, I feel like it should be like infinity time to use them.
which
Like you
okay,
bought
I tend to lean towards what you're saying with, but sometimes in the fitness industry, I guess there's different standards. And Yan's like, I think that 6 months is fairly reasonable. I think a year is probably where most people would land. I purchased one and you had 30 days to use it.
Hey,
and
it's
I was
getting
like-
you in the gym.
That's fair. That's fair. I
But
just
what if
thought
you're
that
on
that,
the road and you're traveling? It's tough.
that's
to,
where I thought that was a little bit kind of crazy. You guys didn't seem too blown away. I thought maybe it would
No,
blow
I
you
think
away.
30 days is crazy.
No, I think it's. I mean, I said infinity, dude. Obviously, I think 30 days is nuts. 30 days.
That is a big
Hey,
discrepancy.
Whit does 10 yoga classes an infinity amount of time.
I'm 74 years old. I'm like,
I
I
got
was
8
just
more.
curious to get you like what
I got
you guys
8 more,
thought of
babe.
And I get it. They're trying to get you in there, and you buy a cheaper pack because you're getting more of them, and they they want to get you in there. I just thought 30-day. I thought 30. Holy shit, that's quite. You got to be in there every 3 days. I mean, you might as well be common law, right? You might just get your grocery sent there. Get a cot in the back.
I mean, I guess the prices are going to be going up at some point. So if you do the Whit plan, and you're like using once a year, they're like, dude, you kind of paid for 23 years ago price. So it's like if I had a 10-pack of like filling up my gas tank and I was still getting like 8 cents a gallon because I bought that in 1968. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, for sure. You got any of those coupons in your car, Whit?
I got no coupons.
You're not a big coupon. I couldn't see you being a coupon.
I remember my mom making me like cut out the coupons, like when in the newspaper. Cut all those up. I was like, oh, I hope. So
I thought you guys would. I thought you guys would like this one because I'm getting close to the time I have to be there. I have a 5:30 dinner with Jeff, and it's our he's taking me and Posh out. It's a kind of like our end of the year type thing, and he's bringing me to this place in Vancouver. It's called Sushi Masuda. I butchered that, obviously. This chef Masuda is trained in Japan. It's like a little restaurant within a restaurant with only 6 seats, 2 seatings per night, no menu, and it's just omakase, where he feeds you different fish or whatever it is for 2 hours. It got a Michelin star. What? They're gonna chop up the fish that we throw our fish
sandwich.
Back. Fuck you guys. It got a Michelin star within a few months of being open, and he's like a prodigy. He's a prodigy sushi chef.
There's a documentary about a guy like that, I believe.
Maybe he's got the doc. And then
I think that's Sushi Sean or something.
Oh, reservations open up on the 1st of every month, and they go like instantly. So this guy, I'm excited to go experience this 2 hours.
Biz, you don't get to order.
I know you're
getting what he gives you. That's what omakase is. You're getting what he gives you.
I'm like, no, I'll get the Caesar salad.
I'll get the Caesar salad. Hold the Caesar. Add ranch. Actually, blue cheese. Oh, so you want a wedge? No, I want it to look like a Caesar. But Biz, you can also say you do like say he gives you a salmon, nigiri. If you like that, you can get more of it.
You can double it up.
You can double it up, but you can't whatever you're getting, whatever he's cutting up, he's giving you.
No alterations.
Just tell him if you don't like scallops or whatever, just tell him you're allergic.
Okay. Well, I'm allergic
Biz,
to fish.
The documentary, it's called Jiro Dreams of Sushi, and it's about a guy, 85 years old. This is from 2011. He owned Sukiyabashi Jiro, a 3-star Michelin restaurant. It was a 10-seat only, sushi only restaurant located in a Tokyo subway station.
Oh, yes. I've heard about that one. Yeah, where it's in a subway.
That kind of sounds similar with only 6 seats. I'm interested to hear how this goes.
A lot of those places are like that. Biz,
I'm excited.
You'll like his knife skills when you sit there and watch him. You'll be amazed by the way he'll cut a cucumber and avocado and the fish. It's legit beautiful to watch these guys, work a knife. It's like you stick handling.
Oh, yeah. Like me.
You learned from watching Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai.
You mean like me teaching the kids at Gretzky's hockey school how to stick handle? I also stopped by Gazer for a night and went and helped out Ty and Trevor. They do a hockey school. They travel around. They're actually in Scottsdale this week. I think they do a couple stops in Coeur d'Alene. But I went out there for an hour and helped the kids get worse, and that was cool. That was a cool little stop along the way. And one of the other stops, and I'll be done with my trip. Now I'm finished explaining my sushi details for tonight, is I stopped in Bozeman, Montana for the first time. Very quaint little city. I would recommend it to anyone. And really that whole journey going down from Arizona all the way up through the Idaho, Utah, the Wyoming, all that stuff up there in that pocket is just a stunning drive. So I would recommend it to anyone if you want to get an RV, do a little fly fishing, and catch a little bit of your own.
You take the new rig?
I took the new rig. It was awesome.
What'd you listen to? Music or podcast?
I listened to the Eagles' greatest hits album probably 17 times. I just beat the shit out of the Eagles.
Yeah, when you like something, bro, you just go.
Houston's. the Eagles, the Leafs. I will just beat the wheels off of anything.
A great documentary on right now, or I don't even know if it's new or not, but Billy Joel on HBO Max. I didn't know a ton about him. Obviously know his bangers, but unreal watch stuff that I didn't know about him. But it's a really good watch. I think it's 2 episodes. They're like 2 hours each, though.
Really?
So I'm gonna watch that for sure. The Eagles documentary was incredible as well. Just going back to the Eagles, but I'll watch the one you just mentioned. I like documentaries more than anything. I got to get going for this sushi meal though. We're sending it off to what? Zenon Konopka for this one?
Yeah, it was good to catch up with you boys. Thank you for coming on. We're gonna throw it to him. Yeah, that's Biz. I'm excited for you. Nice little time off, getting out west to the Great Frontier? Can we call it that?
Yeah,
Great
sure.
Frontier? So great chat with you guys. Now we throw it to Konopka, who, I mean, this guy, he's comedy. Incredible. I think we've been talking for 5-6 years about having him on. So awesome interview. We sat down with him during the finals. Check it out right now. Zenon Konopka. Guys, let's talk about Rose Sparks. I know you've heard me talk about it before. The big hard erections. I know. We're back. It's a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for stronger, harder erections. Rose Sparks dissolve under your tongue, meaning they hit your bloodstream a lot quicker than pills, so you can get ready for the action quicker. You know the action we're talking about. Once the medication dissolves, they work in about 15 minutes on average, giving you the boost you need for a thicker and a longer erection. Yep. And it helps you last longer for more fun for both of you. Plus, Rose Sparks stay active in your system for up to 36 hours. That means you can go round after round after round, Biz style, or even the morning after. And no need for awkward in-person doctor visits. RO connects you with a medical provider 100% online. And if prescribed, your treatment ships right to your door. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at ro.co/chiclets to find out if prescription Rose Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/chiclets for $15 off your first order. Guys, let's talk about Sport Clips. Sport Clips this summer. The sun's out, and so are the fresh cuts at Sport Clips Haircuts. It's the perfect place to cool off and watch some sports on TV while also getting a precision haircut from stylists who just get it. They've been specially trained to cut men's hair. If your favorite baseball team has a an afternoon game and you're sitting around, maybe it's a doubleheader, and you want to catch the early action and get a haircut, Sport Clips. You lay there, relaxing, you watch your team play, and you're getting a haircut at the same time. Also, if you take your haircut to the next level when you're there, you could do it by asking for the MVP haircut experience. It comes with a hot steam towel and a 7 pressure point massaging shampoo. Spit it out, Whit, that are sure to make you melt into the chair. And for this summer only, you can swap out of the classic hot steam towel for a refreshing chilled towel. It's an icy alternative that's the perfect way to defeat the heat. Sport Clips, it's a game changer. We are now pleased to be joined by a guy. This is a long time coming, a warrior in the game. Played over 340 NHL games, a ton of games in the Coast and the AHL as well. Zenon Konopka, what's going on?
How you doing, boys? Nice to be on. Love your show.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And yeah, Biz has been saying for years we got to get Konopka on. I think we were supposed to one time. Something happened. But how you been? What's going on? What are you doing these days?
Yeah, things are good. After I retired, I ended up working for Adam Oates for about 18 months in his development program. It was amazing. You know, we got to teach the best players in the world, literally, Stamkos, Eichel, Kucherov, and McDavid. But I had 3 kids in diapers, so that was a tough one. Oatesy is a wizard, but he's got dogs. I got kids, and it's a bit of a different circumstances. So then I always had a bunch of businesses, and one of my buddies that I played with in the minors in Cincinnati, Mike Shute, worked for the Operators Union in Ontario, and his brother Kyle Shute, and they kind of sold me on the idea of being back on the team. So I'm in the organizing department for the International Operators Union in Ontario. We have 20,000 members here. And I said, I'll try it out. And I've been there 2 years now. I absolutely love it. Like it's kind of like the locker room again. We got 18 guys in our unit. And I didn't realize how much I missed kind of that until I went back to it. And I've been doing some coaching as well, a little bit of junior B coaching and stuff like that. And I love the game. And the competitiveness in me, obviously still is pretty hungry. So when the time's right, probably go back to coaching at some point.
Zay Biz here. Fuck, great to see you, buddy. Long overdue. We're going to get to all those face-offs you won throughout your years.
Looks like you guys have the same exact nose.
No, we're brothers.
Oh,
we're biological brothers.
We didn't start off on the best foot.
You guys must have fought. I was going to say, how many fights between you two?
One in summer hockey.
Oh no!
You know what?
No one was getting paid.
No, let's get into it right now. This guy was an absolute maniac in summer hockey. We're just trying to summer hockey, not in the NHL, not on the East Coast.
But guys like him, they can't turn it off in summer hockey.
Biz is going to give him his side of the story, and then I'll give him mine.
Okay, all right, fair. Let's hear business.
We're the jury.
It was you. What do you mean, my side? It was you and Lance Galbraith. And anytime we'd get a lead, if our goalie made a save, it would be a fucking scrum in front of the net. We're just trying to get a summer sweat in, and this guy thinks he's paying for the fucking Stanley Cup. Now I'll hand it over to you, Z. Exactly what Whit said. You just can't turn it off. You have one speed. That's why we all love you. And I'll hand it over to you to tell the story.
Well, I agree with I do only have one speed. I'm not trying to diminish that or say I don't like. I play for keeps all the time. But the one time where we had the issue, was so in summer hockey, Biz had a bunch of really good players. You had Girardi, you had Pyatt on your team, they had a really good summer hockey team. Now, I think 4 or 5 years older than Biz, right? And I played with a bunch of older guys that were my buddies, Scott Ellis, Roy Montgomery, and our team was called Bush. And we were always kind of the top team. And I come back from, and maybe we'll get into it later, but I ended up breaking my hand. And I had hand surgery. They put a plate in my hand. So I come back in the summer, and this is when like Biz's team is the up and coming team, and I can't play. And we're getting absolutely like slaughtered. Like we haven't won a game. So we're going to play Biz's team. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be off like anything for like another month of the season, like, for rehab. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll play. I don't give a fuck. Right?
Summer hockey.
So I get out there, right? But I'm in horrendous shape, right? And before you know it, it's like 8-0. Like,
they're running it up.
They're yes, good point, Whit. They're running it up. Not only are they running it up, but we got this kid going through his legs and wooing and hawing out there, right? So finally on the 9th goal, the guy goes through his legs and kind of like stares at our goalie, and he turns. So I just fucking buried him and allegedly broke his rib or wrist. I don't know. It sounds made up to me, but Biz can probably add in on that.
I think it was a broken rib.
And I will give Biz his flowers. I'm going to give him his flowers, but not yet, because maybe I'll give him one flower for jumping in, because I guess like what he's supposed to do. So he jumps in, right? So I'm like, what? I'm like, fuck. So then we're kind of like about kind of fighting, and then punches start going, and like,
you have a broken hand, correct?
I got a broken hand, right? and I'm trying to punch with my left, and and now like the refs and guys. So anyway, so then now like we get at this point somehow we stay in the game. So at the end of the game, you shake hands. And I remember, and at this point, like, this is young, I'm older, like, I'm not sold on this guy yet, right? Like, I'm like,
oh, none of us were when we met him. We hated him.
Yeah. So we go in the lineup, right? And I look at him, and I'm like, I got a fucking broken hand, man. I just had surgery on my hand. He goes, I got a broken hand too. I'm like, really? And I'm like, and they're like, what does he say? Well, apparently he has a broken hand too. So I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, so from that, like at that point, I wasn't like a huge Biz fan. And then I think the turning of the corner, I think when he fought, I'm pretty sure you fought John Brophy at least once or twice. Like,
Yeah, against my own will.
no, it was like Biz made a decision, okay? And that's what I try to tell like young players and parents. Like, there's got to be, a point where either you're going to fight or flight, right? Because things are going to get hard. Like, things are going to get hard. And everyone's a good player. I put up big numbers in the minors and in junior, and there's tons of those guys. But it comes to a point where you're like, how bad do you want it? Do you want to fucking sacrifice your face, by blocking shots and maybe taking a couple punches? And like, I was never worried about, I never got knocked out in my life, right? I took I had over 700 stitches in my face. I broke my nose 14 times. I never lost a tooth, believe it or not, and I never wore a mouth guard, so figure that one out. But it was one of those things for Biz. When he fought Morasti, I remember the next summer I fucking bought him a beer at the bar. I'm like, all right, you're okay, kid. Yeah, I like you.
I'm part of the club.
like that kind of like gave you like, all right, man, this guy's legit, because it takes a lot of nuts to do that.
Well,
100%.
Z, I felt like that's kind of just also how you came up and you played. Like at a certain point, I had to change my style.
True.
How did you develop into that type of player? Like, did you have an uncle, a brother, your father? Like, who instilled that in you from a young age to play the way that you did?
And only being 6 feet tall. You're not and back then there were some monsters.
Yeah, like when I go to events and stuff, people are like, can't believe how small you are for fighting. Like, I fought Boogeyman or fought a bunch of guys, but really, like, my dad was born in Poland. He was taken at 5 years old. They were taken out during the Second World War and taken to concentration camps in Russia by the Russians. And they were there for a year, and they ended up going to Africa during the war and came to England and to Canada. He never knew anything about hockey. He liked baseball and played fastball baseball, and he was a real tough guy. Now, he was my everything, and he ended up passing away when I was 13 in a tractor accident. I grew up on a farm. But it was like, I remember I was like 5, maybe 4, 5, 6 years old, and you kind of try to remember what your first memory is. And it might be my first memory is my dad. It was a catcher for fastball, and he worked at GM, and he hurt his finger early in the game, and they wanted to take him out, and he said, no, I'm staying in. And every time a pitch came, and at the end of the game, he went to the hospital and he had a broken finger, but he caught the rest of the game. And I don't know, like, for me, it was like winning was, we won in AAA wise twice. And when we got to Ottawa, we win in the Mem Cup in the first year. And it was like, I always say winning is the best drug in the world. Like, you can't buy it. You can't fabricate it. You can't make it up. Like, and it was one of those things where, like, in the minors and junior, I used to love fighting because I only fought when I was pissed off or someone hit someone, In the NHL, sometimes, Biz knows you play like, a few shifts and then they're like, okay, we're down 2-0. I guess I'm got to go fight this guy. Right. So I used to enjoy fighting more in the minors.
Because you didn't have to do it, really.
Well, and you were making way more of an impact where it felt like guys were almost trying to take you off the ice. Like, you were a savage in the AHL when you played with Syracuse, obviously in your East Coast days. And I felt like you were maybe more relied upon just fighting and maybe snapping back a few draws at the NHL level.
Yeah. And I always like tell, parents and tell younger players, like junior players, is that you can't have any holes in your game or they're going to find them. Like, they'll find them eventually. Right. So, like, you can like not want to work on something, but the higher you go, they'll be exposed. Now, for all the like studs out there now, the exposure, I think, is competitiveness, right? You show me a kid that is super competitive and I want that kid on my team. That's like, for me, I think that's the new toughness, is the competitiveness, because we have all these like individual coaches and everything's revolved around like these kids. But at the end of the day, it's about winning. Like, winning that's at the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, where you're saying that now individual skill coaches and skating coaches, like those things can all be taught and you can learn and become skilled and fast, but do you have that level of like hating to lose, you mean?
Well, and I think it not only does,
because you can have all the skills and not have that.
I think it hinders it because you go to a stick down coach or a skilled, like a skating coach, and say your team got bumped out. Well, don't worry, you had a good series. Your skating was good, right? And we lose sight of the fact, and I mean that was Canadian, right? And I mean, my mom was born in Buffalo, so I'm a dual citizen. Just putting that out there first, but so I have a U.S. passport. But looking at the four nations, it was like, whoa, like it was kind of like opposites. Like, aren't we supposed to be the team like dominating and like not going down with a fight? Now the other thing, and I don't know when this is going to air, but Corey Perry. Okay, I played with Corey. I was a rookie with him in Anaheim, and at the end of game 3, he's getting into the mix, and he's trying to slash someone, and he's 40 years old, right? But you think some of these younger kids on the benches, and this is how far we've lost where winning comes from. That Corey Perry's like, I want to make any kind of doubt in their mind to think like. And I mean, business, right? Like, I don't care what summer hockey, and especially in the playoffs and any kind of hockey, if a team went up on us, it was on. Like, someone's getting hurt. I don't like
legit. We were like, guys, keep it within 1 goal. Because if we get to 3, if it's 3-1 and there's a 2-goal spread here, it's going to be gloves off and it's going to be a shit show. You guys had Dorsett. You guys had
in the AHL,
yeah. Yourself, Sestito, John Morasti. So that was at least the game plan back then, but I'm sure for many other years growing up.
Well, when I went to Syracuse, like, winning was everything for me, right? And we win the Mem Cup. The next year we have a really good team. Bunch of guys get hurt. The year after, everybody leaves. And now we have, and I remember, there were 7 of us on the team and that won the Mem Cup. And we hosted the Mem Cup. So we did go in the back door. Like, we didn't win the OHL title. And it kind of bugged us a bit. And I mean, when I played pro, guys would be asking my first year in Wheeling, how was Ottawa? Why did you keep asking about how was Ottawa? But like, you didn't have a curfew. I'm like, you guys had a curfew? We were like, yeah, you guys had to go to school? You guys had to work out? Really? Oh, wow. That was amazing, right? So, that team with 8 games left, we're a point out from missing the playoffs. And it's like they're writing articles, and Kilray comes out in the paper and says, this is the most undisciplined team I've ever had. I can't control these guys. Pretty much saying if they missed the playoffs for the first time in 18 years, it's not my fault. And we weren't missing the playoffs. We were having too much fun on and off the ice. And we went 7-1-1 down the stretch to get in. We got to the 4th seed. And we upset 4 teams and won the OHL. And that's why I wear this ring over the Mem Cup and the one of the minors, is that we had nobody. And that taught me that this could work.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about how talented you are. Of course you have to have talent. But the will to win will always outweigh any talent or anything like that. So then I win a championship in Boise, Idaho on the East Coast. The AHL, we lose in double overtime to Hershey, and then I get traded from Anaheim because I go to Russia the year they win the cup, and it was like disastrous. And now I end up in the Syracuse team who's on the bottom of the league. Like, they're terrible. There's no fans. They're chanting the coach, fire the coach. And, I come in and I'm kind of surveying the situation, and there was this big, husky, bar fridge, short, indigenous guy in the stands. And I said, who's that guy? And they said, John Morasti. I said, why doesn't he play? He goes, he's takes stupid penalty. He doesn't know what he's doing. Can't, play. He goes, they might be the toughest guy in hockey. I said, what? He goes, yeah.
You didn't even know who he was at this point.
I didn't even know who he was, right? He goes, he played in that Quebec League. So then I go home, right? And back then it wasn't like you had your internet on your phone with him. I'm like, holy Christ, right? So next day I come back to the rink. I sit down with Johnny. I said, Johnny, Zenon Konopka. Nice to meet you. I like your work, And I said, do you want to go back in the lineup? He goes, how are you going to get me back in the lineup? I said, that wasn't the question. I said, do you want to get back in the lineup? He goes, yes. I said, okay, there's going to be one rule. He goes, how are you going to get me back in the lineup? I said, let me finish. There's one rule. Okay, what's the rule? I said, you only fight when I tell you to fight. He goes, done. How are you going to get me back in line? So I go to the coach. I said, Johnny's back in lineup. He goes, you can't put that guy in the lineup. You can't play. He takes penalties. I said, he's going back in the lineup. I'm here to switch culture. We're putting Johnny back in. So then Johnny goes back in, and, you know, really the second year, like we went on a run when I got traded there, but the second year, like we solved the parking issue in Syracuse because half the crowd would be there for warm-ups because there were so many warm-up fights. So we used to like stretch on the red line, and we touch their blue line and touch their top of their circles, and who could touch their dot. And,
Come on.
Circus, oh yeah.
You guys would get that deep, eh?
So it kind of came all together when I started going through the stat pack, and we had this kid, Derek Dorsett, who was a great kid, kind of quiet, you know, Thomas Siskito a little louder, but, you know, they weren't playing much. They were in and out of the lineup. And I looked at the stats and saw these guys, their penalty minutes in juniors. So I sat both of them down. I said, boys, like, what's going on here? I see you, like, you guys like fighting? He goes, oh yeah, we love fighting. I'm like, perfect. Why aren't you fight more? I'm like, wow, we don't know when to, you know, like, or who, like, you know, like, I said, don't worry, I'll tell you when to fight. Right. And then we became like, we started fighting and warm-ups and during the game, after the game, in the hallway. But we started winning. We couldn't fucking lose. It was crazy, man. So they had
Didn't you guys go on a crazy win streak though? Like, didn't you guys rattle off like 20 in a row?
23 and 20. We set the record for most undefeated. We were undefeated in 23 games in a row.
Jesus.
Okay? And this is from a team that was on, like, we were in the cellar year before. It hurt us because we were so far out of the playoffs. It hurt us because we had to play so hard to get in. Like, but anyway, so now, so they had a rule that you had to wear your helmet in warm-ups. Columbus had this rule, right? I didn't wear my helmet. Johnny didn't wear his helmet, but everyone else wore their helmet, right? And I said, now this is when we're starting this. Like, we've lost a bunch of games, and I said, we win 5 games in a row, we'll go buckets off, like the whole team for warm-ups. So sure enough, we win 1, we win 2, and we win 4, we win 5. Wait, fuck, are we gonna do this? You think Columbus, right? I said, fucking rights, we're doing it, right? So we go no buckets. After warm-up, I get pulled in, assistant GM for Columbus. Like, we got a rule. I said, buddy, you guys haven't had a 5-game win streak in like the last 10 years. Like, he goes, oh, okay, fine, right? So we win that game, and now guys are like, well, what do we do now? Like, what's next? I'm like, what do you mean, what's next? Well, we got the 5 games. And I said, we win 7 more games, we'll go no buckets, no shoulder pads for warm-up, right? They're like, I'm like, there's no way we're gonna win 7 more fucking games. So sure enough, fucking, we rip off fucking 5 more, 6 more. We win 12 in a fucking row. We go into Erie, Pennsylvania, right? Now guys are like, we can't do this, can we? And like Derek McKenzie was on the team, and he's a great guy, right? But he's like, he somewhat follows the rules, like, you know, they're like, see, you can't. I said, fucking rights we are. I said, you're not playing unless you're going with no fucking bucket, no fucking shoulder pads, right? So guys were like, I said, if we all do it, we got to stick together. Okay. So we go out there and we're fucking cruising around. And Derek Brassard was on our team. He was like the biggest prospect for Columbus. So after warm up, I get pulled by my neck into the coach's room, and there's Columbus assistant GM. Are you fucking crazy? Are you fucking nuts? I said, we just won 12 games in a fucking row. I don't care how many games. What if Derek Brassard would have caught a rut and separated his shoulder? Then what would you have done, right? And I look at him, I go, it would have been the same percentage of Derek Brassard separating his shoulder when he doesn't wear shoulder pads the whole summer when he goes home. Like, and then the owner was in there, and the owner goes, he's got a good point there, you know? So, yeah. So then one more little highlight on that run. So we go into Manitoba, and you always play 2 games because you're flying in. So the first game, and again, they didn't really have many tough guys.
Oh,
right?
fuck. I've heard this story. This is a classic.
So we're by the red line, and we're just, you know, scouring the red line and barking, and, you know, no one's doing anything, right? So we win the game. So the next day I come down for my breakfast, and they have the newspaper there, like the local newspaper. And I was like reading the sports section, and I'm reading, and they had this Labrie kid, the first round pick to Vancouver Canucks. And this kid has it all. He can shoot, he can pass the puck, he can score, he hits, and he'll fight anybody. And I'm like, fight anybody? Oh, fuck, what? So I come to practice, right? And now this is like, we're like 13 or 14 in a row at this point, right? And the guys are all pissed off. I'm like, what's wrong? They said, well, it's not optional. We got to skate. Like, I said, not optional. Like, we just want fucking 14. So I go on grab the marker, put on the board, optional, right? And the coach comes in, he's like, hey, Z, don't you think we should be skating? I'm like, don't you think you were almost fired before I got here? We're not fucking skating. Like, he goes, oh, okay, we won't skate, right? So every time we played like a real tough, a team that had some tough guys, me, Dorsett, Sestito, and Morasky would kind of have like a little meeting, like, well, who's going to fight who, and so I said, guys, be ready for warm up. Like, and they're like, what? Nobody. What do you, I said, just be ready for warm up. Right. So we come back to the night, we go for warm up. Right. And, there I see that Labrie kid. Right. So I told Dorsett, I said, as soon as that Labrie kid comes close to the red line, two-hand him. Right. So he comes and he fucking two-hands him. He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, tell me who you want to fight. There's 4 of us. You pick 2. You don't have to fight 4 of us. Just and he kind of like skates away, right? I'm like, you motherfucker, right? So then I told Sestito, next time he comes around, fucking two-hand him, right? So fucking here again. Sestito he had a couple, marbles loose, right? He goes, oh yeah. So now he fucking winds up and just smoking them, right? So now their team's got to come up now, because now it's going to get embarrassing. I'm like, I told you fucking fight 2 guys. So Mike Keane is their captain. So at the end of Mike Keane's career, he was the captain of the Manitoba Moose. I believe he's from there. That's why he was. Yeah. Right? He's like 40 years old, right?
Cup champ.
Legend. Yeah, multiple cup champ. He's like, Z, what the fuck's going on here? I said, the kid's got to fight 2 guys. He said he'll fight anybody.
Not even 1, 2.
He doesn't have to fight 4 of us, just 2 of us. He goes, I didn't say that. I said, fucking right, Sheet. He goes, no, I didn't. I said, you didn't? And I pulled the newspaper out of my glove and I put it on center ice, right? I'm like, right fucking there, right?
You brought the fucking newspaper out there.
Mike Keane goes, see, you can't fucking put a newspaper on the fucking center ice, right? Fucking Testino two-hands him. He goes, he can do whatever the fuck he wants, old man. I'm like, no, hold
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
Stop.
Enough, right? And so Labrie he didn't fight any of us, but yeah, it was a special time in Syracuse. That's for sure. It was.
See, you have not changed a bit.
No,
dude.
you are so throwback. It's unreal chatting with you right now.
So good.
I have so many questions but I want to go. You got the 23 games in Anaheim, right? You'd kind of grinded 4 years in the minors, coast. You lit it up. AHL. The 1 year in Anaheim that you got 23 games, you had way over a point per game in the minors. And so it's kind of turning into like, my thought would be like, this guy's going to become a everyday NHLer in the next year or 2. But you go to Russia. Like, was that I'm guessing it was all for the dough? Like,
it was. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain it quickly. So again, winning was everything. Loyalty is everything in my life, right? Like, I'm loyalty to default probably, right? And so we're playing those 23 games. Okay, I played 23 games. Now, Perry and Getzlaff were in the minors for like 20 games that year because Brian Burke wanted them to ride the bus, which I think was a very good idea, and maybe some of these other guys should be riding the bus that are coming in now. So when I was up later in the year, we were playing in Boston and I went into the boards and I had a high ankle sprain and it was bad. Right. And Rick Carlisle was our coach and he was hard on young guys, but he was really great to me. And he's like, he's supposed to be out 8 weeks. He'll be back in under 2 weeks. Right. So like 10 days later, we're in LA. I'm like, I can play. Right. So I go out for fucking pregame and like morning skate and I fucking rip it again. And that's when they kind of shut me down. They said like, whoa. Like we shouldn't let you out there. So at this point now, I'm rehabbing in Newport Beach, having a great time. But again, I won the Mem Cup, won the OHL, won the East Coast. I want to win the fucking Calder Cup. As stupid as it is to say, I'm in the NHL, but I'm like, this is, and I wanted to get home ice advantage in the first, throughout the playoffs, because we had a pretty good team. So they had a meeting probably mid-March with the trainer, me, and Bob Murray, the assistant GM. And they said, where is he at? You know, like, is he close coming back, blah, blah. And they said he's close, but and I told Bob, I said, listen, I can't help us at the NHL level, but I can go down and play in the A, right? And I want to get fucking home. It's like, what a fucking idiot. But, and so Bob Murray talks to me, he says, okay, let him go, right? Now, saying that, two things to this is, rest is a weapon, you know, people talk about it, but that was the best hockey I ever played in my life. When I came back, because I got that rest for like 2 months I was out, and I had a 23 game point streak and
29 points in 19 games in the playoffs that
Fucking
year.
easy.
Wow. That's
and
like
I cracked my shoulder game 2 against Providence. I had to take a needle every game. They said I was out for the playoffs. Every game I had to freeze it, take it. Okay. So at the end of this, you know, we lose double overtime, and it's crazy because, you know, in the AHL, you know, we're the best team, but our NHL team's still, you know, in the playoffs. So you don't get those guys back, right? So we're playing Boston, who didn't make the playoffs, played the Rangers, farm team. We beat them. Then we play Hershey, and obviously Washington was in the playoffs, and they were so good that we had to make it ugly. And we went down 3-1 in that series. We come back, make it 3-3, and there's 7 days off because of the circus in Hershey. In that 7 day stretch, Edmonton beats Anaheim, and we get Getzlaf, Penner, and Perry down for game 7. And we fucking lose in double overtime. 6-5. And it was like, you know, so there was a lot of talk about getting a one-way contract because I had decent numbers, you know, and I had really good numbers in the minors.
And also what you've provided their organization from helping develop and instill competitiveness in these guys and fight. And you deserve it.
So at this point, I didn't think, I just wanted, the top players were making 90 in the minors, and I was making 40 grand. And Bob Murray called me and said, we got you by the balls. Just like, guys, you know, guys have us by the balls in free agency now, and you're going to play for 40 grand. And I'm like,
yeah, I get that.
It wasn't even the money. Don't get me wrong. Like, because I played with a guy that was from Russia, and he's like, oh, they'll offer you, you know, 400, no, 450, 500, 550, 600, 650, 700. Like 700, Jesus Christ, you know? And, but it was the loyalty, like, and again, I was hurt. I really loved Brian Burke, right? And I just couldn't believe that after playing with my shoulder and like, in all this, that they wouldn't give me 90 in the minors, you know?
Yeah, it's more a slap in your face.
Yeah. So I go to Russia. I come back. Okay, so I go to Russia for, you know, they start fucking so early. And they're fucking with my money. I'm not getting my money. And I'm like, and no one spoke English there. My buddy that got me there wasn't even there yet. And so the one guy said, no, they're going to hold your money till the NHL year starts because you can go back, right? Day before the NHL year, Brian Burke calls my agent and said, okay, we'll give him 90 for the next 2 years in the minors, right? And at that point, I'm like, okay, I'll come back. Like, and it's stupid me. I like, instead of waiting, trying to collect my money, I hopped on like 3 different flights to try to make the opening game for Portland in the AHL. And, you know, at the time, I was okay, you know, like I was ready to win the AHL, and one forward gets hurt. I don't get called up, and I'm leading our team in goals, assists, points. I'm fighting, whatever, you know, and another forward gets hurt. I don't get called up. Another forward gets hurt. You know, 4 forwards get hurt. And Kevin Denise, the coach, calls me in and says, listen, like, I just want to tell you, I'm not part of this. I'm like,
yeah, like, I don't agree with this.
And I'm like, well, part of what? Like, you're younger, you're like, you know, he goes, well, you're getting blackballed because you went to Russia and they want to, you know,
make an example out of you.
Like,
so,
you brought me back.
Yeah, I know. Like, I guess the point of the mind is I like, so I had a meeting with Brian Burke because there was a lot of rumors I asked for a trade. I never asked for a trade. And Burke said that I'm only going to trade you if they're going to put you in the NHL. If you're in the minors, going to play for me. And he traded me and went right to Syracuse. I love Berkey. Like, we buried the hatchet since then. But it was, and then for a guy that winning was my whole life, I get traded. Marchand gets hurt in Anaheim in the playoffs. They can't find a fourth line center. And, I think Joe Motzko's name is on the Stanley Cup, because if you play one game in the finals, your name's on the cup. And it fucked me up, man. It was hard to deal with.
That was mine.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, back to Russia quickly.
Yeah.
Because you had 4 games before you went back, because they start so early, like you mentioned. But the name Igor Grigorenko. So this guy in the 03 World Juniors, I was playing for USA. We lost to Canada in the semis. Russia then beats Canada in the finals in Halifax. He was the player of the tournament. Ovechkin was on the team. Granted, he was 16. He was incredible. And Detroit Red Wings draft pick. I think going to be a superstar in the NHL. Horrible car accident in Russia. Never ended up making, but you played with him on that team. Do you remember his name? And could you have seen maybe before the injury how good he might have been?
Yeah, I know for sure.
It was crazy, dude, in 03.
And I think he was fighting an injury when I was there as well. So he wasn't totally healthy. But and again, I didn't know who from who there, right? But he was our top player. And again, you do your research, Z, before you go to Russia. There's Moscow, St. Petersburg, even.
No, you were in the middle of nowhere.
Middle of the whole of Russia, Holyati, that was a tough bounce for sure. But yeah, no, the guy was super skilled, but he played kind of a North American game too.
Yes.
He played pretty hard, and it would have been interesting to see what would have happened with him. But he was a nice guy, he didn't speak English, but
I was just curious you remembered him, because in 03 I was like, who, this guy's gonna be Datsuk, and then the car accident happened. But
Z, I was just gonna kind of go back to Ottawa, the 67s. You played for the legendary coach Brian Kilray. What did he help instill in you to become the player that you were? I mean, that was a legendary organization. You said you guys won a Mem Cup, won an OHL. What did you learn from the fundamental aspect to help you propel your career?
The biggest thing Brian Kilray does, if you make it the 4 years, and if anyone got traded from Ottawa, you went to Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie. He never traded anyone anywhere nice, right? If you survived the 4 years, you came a boy and you left a man. That is the biggest thing he'll give you. Okay. Now, he was, every practice was the same every day for 4 years. We never worked on the power play, never worked on the penalty kill.
Not one time?
Not once. Now, saying that, our power play was usually always in the top 5, our penalty kill is pretty good. So maybe coaches are overthinking it. But it was his thing was there's no substitute for hard work. The face-off thing, if you didn't win face-offs, you didn't play center. So that helped me, probably later in my career, right? Because at that point, I wanted to play center. And Killer, he's a legend, right? He's in the Hall of Fame, and it's a love-hate relationship for sure. My last year, I actually owned part of a pub there. And we went on a 3-game losing streak, and he banned everyone from the pub. And I'm like, killing me here, Killer. Come on. So the boys won a couple games, and the boys come back.
And another legendary coach you played for, Brophy.
Oh my God.
So I don't know how many people listening know about, what's his first name? Is it John Brophy? John Brophy. And I heard insane stories about him basically bag skating teams in pregame skate. I'll throw it over to you.
The hot coffee from Walshy.
Yeah, there's a legendary story from Walshy about him chucking a coffee in a guy's face.
I saw it. Oh,
you were there for that?
No. I actually watched. I saw the little video you guys put together, and I was dying because. So when I get to Wheeling, West Virginia, okay, and John Brophy is my coach, you hear all these stories, right? And you're like, "There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way this is all true." And then a week into the season, you're like, oh my God, this is all fucking true. Like, so he would be, like he would in pregame skate, if the other team was watching, right? They're on the glass. He'll like stop, blow the whistle, and like everyone grab a stick, and we're going to skate towards the glass and smash glass as hard as you can. If you break your stick, just grab another one, right? But he was pretty witty and funny too. Now, that's where like Kilray didn't like fighting. Like he named Brian Kilray. He wasn't a huge fan of fighting. Brof was the biggest fan of fighting. So the first game I played, and I had a good school package to go, and back then you play one game, you're done. And we played in Reading, and we lost like 7-1. I had one assist, but I was terrible, like terrible. But I fought this guy, and he caught me with a left early, and then I probably won the rest of the fight. And Brof had no assistant coaches. It was just Brof, and then the medical trainer and equipment trainer. Think about that one, right? And he's 73 years old at the time. He looks like he's 103, right? and everybody's scared of him. Like, every person is scared of him. The owner's scared of him. The trainers are scared of him. The media's scared of him. And like, players are terrified. Like, but he did a lot for me. So he calls me, the trainer grabs me, goes, Brof wants to see you. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get cut. Like, why didn't I go to fucking school? Like, you're going to get fucking cut. So I go into the room, and, fucking Brof, he's like, sit down, right? So I sit down, he looks at me and goes, you had one hell of a fucking game tonight. I said, I did? He goes, oh yeah, that fight, oh man. But he goes, and he gets up, and he's 73 years old. He's waddling around, right? He broke his back, so he can't walk. And he's trying to show me when a guy throws a left to turn and punch him in, and he kind of hit me in the head. And so then I realized if you weren't having a good game, all you had to do was fight. And he thought you had a great game. And that's, I fought quite a bit there. So the best Brof story I got, actually, a funny, I'll give you the funny story, just a quick little tease. Like, he was up to date on stuff. And, like we had this, one of the Moore brothers played for us. And, during the national anthem, he'd be like, hey, Moore, what's the circumference of the arena? Hey, Moore, how many gallons of water are in the ice? Hey, and
because they were at Harvard, because to his own player.
Oh yeah, towards his own player.
Why did Moore go to Harvard?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they all went to Harvard. I think. Like,
yeah.
So now, okay. So now the next game, it's like, and he would always do this during the national anthem, like when everyone's supposed to be quiet, right? So the next game, he's like, the PA announcer's like, John Smith, the longtime season ticket holder, passed away at the age of 85. He was a season ticket holder for 20 years. He loved the Wheeling Nailers. We're going to do a moment of silence, right? And everyone's quiet as can be. You can hear a pin drag. There's Bro. He's like, you see how fucking bad we're playing? We're killing season ticket holders. I'm like, oh, man. Can't say that, bro. So the best one I got was, so we were Pittsburgh's farm team, like East Coast team, right? And Wilkes-Barre was our AHL club. And I actually have a Murley story that maybe next time I'm on we'll talk about. But
no, we're talking about it after you deliver this one.
Yeah, okay. So so we had a neutral site game against Reading in Wilkes-Barre, right? So it's a big, all the brass for the AHL teams there. It's a big game for us, and and we're not a very good team, right? This is the first year I'm like losing. We're under 500 I've ever been in my life. So both buses come to the neutral site game. And so now it's a very intense game. There's some fights and the benches are right next to each other, right? And their coach, I don't know, he's probably like 35 years old, and Bro's like going on 103 here, right? And fucking every time something happened, he's yelling over at the coach, you motherfucker, I'll kill you, I'll fucking kill you, right? And the guy's like, what are you, like, okay, old man, right? So we're down 2-1. There's like 40 seconds left. There's a face-off in their end. We pull the goalie. So Bro pulls everyone in. He goes like, all right, Konopka, you win the draw back. And then we fucking put the puck on net, and we put everything on net. You put the fucking defenseman, you put the forwards, you put the goalie, put the puck in the net, but just make sure the puck goes in the net. We're like, okay, good plan, coach. And he goes, but listen, if we, for some reason, don't tie this up, somebody better fucking run their goaltender, right? So we had our captain was this French guy, Susi, I think was his last name. He was a pretty tough guy, right? And it's really tough to be a captain of a Brophy team, not to mention we're not that good in the standings, right? So I win the draw, roll over them, fucking everybody's are flying everywhere. And then they chip the puck out. And there's like 8 seconds left in the game, maybe like 6, right? So we all have to get on, tag up on the ice, on the blue line. So we're all coming out of the zone, and I see the captain look at the clock and say, fuck it. And he's a defenseman. He comes flying by me the other way. He's offside. He doesn't care at this point. And he goes and slew foots their goalie, and then all hell breaks loose. The benches, like Bro's trying to get at the coach, like in between the benches. He grabs someone's stick. He's using a stick to hit guys trying to hit their coach, right? So finally they settle everything down, right? And we go to the fucking dressing room. So we get in the dressing room. And again, like when I tell you everyone's scared, like we're so scared after you lose a game, like, and like there was multiple, one time they tried to skate us after the game, like the fucking Olympics or whatever the fuck was. So, but anyway, we get into the dressing room and everyone's just looking down, and Brophy is like fucking spitting. That fucking motherfucker, we lose those fucking guys. I hate that fucking coach. He's a fucking loser. I'm gonna fucking kill him, blah, blah. He goes, let's get the fuck out of here quick, right? So everyone's like, holy fuck, let's get out of here quick. So everyone's getting their bags and like, so now like we're fucking packed our bus. Like these guys haven't even come out yet, the other team, right? So now they're starting to filter out a little bit. Now everyone's on our bus, and I'm a rookie, so I'm towards the front. We had a sleeper, but I'm towards, and Brophy can't see anything. So he's looking, and then the trainer's next to him, and he hits the trainer and he goes, is that fucking coach?
Oh.
And the trainer goes, yeah. He goes, hold my jacket, right? And takes his jacket off, waddles down the fucking bus.
73.
Right? I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I go flying off the bus, right? He goes, let's go, me and you fucking right now, motherfucker, right? So this guy's 35 years old. He's like, bro, fucking leave it on the ice. Fuck, relax. He's like, fuck you. I'm going to fucking tell you, right? So now the only people out there is the parking attendants. So now the parking attendants are in between them, right? And now Brophy's like throwing a punch over the parking attendants trying to hit the other coach, right? So the other coach, now their team's starting to filter out, right? So their coach is like, all right, bro, if you want to fucking do this, we'll clear your bus. Let's fucking just have a big brawl. Bro's like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is between me and you. None of these guys. We're fighting one-on-one, right? And there was another haymaker over the top, right? Now, finally, the Pittsburgh brass comes out and they're like, fucking, like they get in between, right? So we get back on the bus, right? And Brophy is like ripping at his hair, and his hair's coming over his head, and he's spitting on the floor of the bus, and you can see white hair that he's ripped out of his head. So now there's a knock on the door. There's this like parking attendant that probably, I don't know, maybe early 60s, right? So Brophy gets up, opens the door. What the fuck do you want? Right? He goes, oh, Mr. Brophy, I got a lot of respect for you. I just wanted to say I apologize if I put my hands on you. There is no apology needed for anybody besides our boss and our actions, right? He goes, what? He goes, well, I just want to apologize that I didn't mean to grab you and that I was just trying to keep it. He goes, go fuck yourself. And he slams the door. When he hits the door, the guy, it hits him and he goes flying back. And the guy's laying there as people are coming out and the bus takes off. The next day of practice, we had an assistant coach.
Oh, no, you did? They had to hire someone to babysit him.
They're probably scared to fire
for
him.
fuck's sakes.
And I looked up, he was in professional hockey from 1952 to 2007. Like, did he ever tell you guys any stories from back in the day or anything? Or was he just, you didn't even talk to him?
No. Like, he would play cards with us on like the bus and stuff. And like, I remember the one time he's like, she was throwing money, we're playing poker. He's like, "Come, you got any money?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Give me $20, right?" So I give him $20. He loses. He's like, "You get 20 more bucks." I'm like, "Yeah, but the youngest from over here, right?" So I borrow him like $80, right? He loses. Now we finally get back to the thing, right? So then the next day, I I come in, right? I'm like, I'm not gonna ask the fucking coach for fucking money back, right? So he calls me in his office. He goes, "Hey, did you get your money? Did you get your money?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Go check your stall. Go check your stall." Right? So I go in my stall, and he folded 4 $20 bills and put 6 nails into the bills. So there's 12 holes in every bill. He's like, "You got your money back, right?"
What a guy.
So
guy.
You gave him the money.
Oh,
Dude, he coached the Leafs. They went to the playoffs, second round, lost first round. And then it was the next 20 years he coached in the coast. You think he was like blackballed? Like even from the AHL, how did nobody hire him?
Like he was
Too crazy.
He was the most intense person. Like I feel better about myself when I started playing for him. Like, so we had this old guy come in and he played with Brophy, right? So like he just came in, he came to watch the game or whatever, right? So like a couple of us took him aside and like, cause Brophy always said he was fucking tough as nails, right? So we go to the guy and I said like, like how tough is Brophy? Was he like as tough as he says? He's like, well, kind of. Like, we're like, what do you mean kind of? He said he was fucking crazy. Like he'd fucking spear you in the fucking face. But he goes, well, there's one story about him beating up, and he said the guy's name, who was like a really tough guy. And, but he goes, what he doesn't tell you about that is that guy fought another guy on the way to the penalty box. Brophy jumps him in the penalty box and beats the piss out of him. And to this day, or, God rest his soul, bro, but he always said, oh, I kicked the shit out of that guy. But he didn't inform you that
He'd already fought. He had nothing left.
that is fucking and mind you, you were only in Wheeling for 68 games. So the fact that you have all these stories in less than a full season,
we could do 6 hours. I got more stories about that year than the older years combined. It was unbelievable, but it was entertainment. But fuck it, thank God it was my first year pro, because I thought it was just like that, right? Like
you guys were 28 and 41 that year.
Yeah, not good.
Dog.
Not good.
Quickly though, you did win an ECHL championship in Idaho. Pretty cool place to play. I got to go play in an all-star game there.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. And great building. Seemed like they had great fans. Good city to live. They got the college there, so that must have been one of the highlights.
It went from Wheeling, West Virginia, to the most intense coach in the world. Okay, to Boise, Idaho, where the coach was the most laid back. He's still a buddy of mine, a great coach, John Oliver, right? But like we go out for practice for like 35 minutes and then it'd be over. And like with Brophy, it'd be like an hour and a half and we're skating for the last like 25, right? I'm like, that practice is over? Like, is that the warm up? They're like, what are you talking about? The practice is over. I'm like, it's been 35 minutes. Like, yeah, I went a little long today, but we're okay, right? It was like, and what a town. There's no, I think Boise, Idaho is the most underrated city in America. People are so nice, no crime there, not much at all. And
Great fan. Don't they pack it too?
They pack it. We won a championship there. They thought we were in the NHL. Like we had a parade. It was unbelievable. And so for that, so I get called up to Utah. Okay. Now, at the start of that season, so I played for Brophy. Okay. And I only have 3 offers. I had a pretty good year that year. I was third in rookie scoring in the league. I led our team. I had 268 minutes and I smashed my nose. I took a slap shot off my face. But I only had 3 options. So one was going back to Wheeling to give me a AHL one way, but it was like they're signing me to play in Wheeling. One was in Reading, and then one was in Utah, Boise. And so I said, okay, if I can guarantee me some games, and Utah said they'll guarantee me like 8 or 10 games. So I said, well, can I talk to the coach from the East Coast? I said, where's the East Coast? And they said, Boise, Idaho. I said, can I talk to the coach? They said, sure. I said, I just don't want to be stuck losing again. Like I want to make sure. So I call the coach, and the coach says, I said, listen, I just got 3 questions. I said, 1, do we have a chance to win there? 2, I'm used to playing a lot. I'd like to play a lot. And 3, I got some guys I played with in junior I want to bring in.
Yeah.
He goes, listen, he goes, I don't know who you are, but he goes, I'll call you back within an hour and I'll have your answers. And he calls me back, goes, 1, yes, we have a chance to win. Yes, you're going to play a lot. And yes, if guys can help us, we'll bring them in. Okay. So I had a friend that their dad had a racehorse, and I went to the racehorse track, like the warm-up track there. And they asked me if I want to cool down the horse. And I said, sure. I've never been on a horse in my life. I grew up on a fruit farm, not an animal farm. And I get on the horse and like, wow, that was fucking pretty cool, right? So the next day I go back, right? And I asked, can I get on the horse again? And they said, yeah. I said, well, how do you get it to go a little quicker, right? And now you're cooling the horse down on the track. And they're like, whoa, these are race horses. You don't want them to go quicker. I'm like, no, I know. But like, let's just say if you wanted to, how would you do it, right? They're like, well, you just squeeze your legs, right? So like, I'm kind of cooling down this horse. And so I kind of squeeze my legs a little bit and nothing happens, right? And it's like walking around and like squeeze it again, nothing happens. I'm like, what the fuck? So then the third time I squeeze it, I guess a little too hard, and the fucking thing takes off. And they're like, I'm in t-shirt and shorts, and we start going around the track, right? And these things are so fast, you wouldn't even believe it. Like you can't hear anything behind you. You're gone so quick. So I'm thinking, okay, as long as I can stay on, so I get back where the trainers are, they'll figure out some way to fucking slow down the horse, right? And I thought, if I pull this fucking horse, am I going to go and break my neck, you know? So I go around, so, you know, here's the track, and I go all the way around, and we're coming down, you know, the home stretch the wrong way. And
The wrong way.
and fucking, I guess there's a safety device on the stirrups. So if you get thrown off, so it doesn't drag you if you put too much pressure. So I put too much pressure on something, and the stirrup snapped, and I fell off the horse, and my other ankle got snapped, and everyone's running out, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed, you know? And
They
I'm like,
told you not
I'm
to squeeze them, too.
And, yeah, I didn't tell him. I said it just took off. I don't know what happened. And so then I ended up going for X-ray. They said it wasn't broke, right? So then I kept on training, and then I couldn't skate. Like it was so fucked up. And part of my deal was I got to go to Dallas Star Camp, and I had to call them. I can't go to camp. And then when I went to Utah, I could kind of skate, but I couldn't. And what's the GM? The old GM from Nashville. His son was Poyle's son was the GM for Utah, and he pulled me in the office and said, "Listen, we heard about the accident. Like, you know, you got hurt outside hockey." He said, "Your contract, your 8 games guarantee is out the window, and your contract's void unless the East Coast coach wants you." And then that was the coach I talked to on the phone, and he goes, "I'll take him. I got him." So we leave the office, and he says, "I know what you have. We had a guy have it. It's called a high ankle sprain, right? This is like, I've never even heard that, you know, terminology before." And he goes, "When we get back, we got to go in a walking boot." I said, "Coach, I can play. Fuck, I played through fuck." He goes, "Nope." He goes, "I just saved your career. You're going in a walking boot." And I didn't play till November. Like, so I haven't played a game yet. And my coach calls me in and says, "Hey, we can get this, one of your buddies." You know, I put a list together, right? And the top of the list was Lance Galbraith. And he goes, "Should we get him?" I said, 100%, get him. Like, so then he calls me back in the office, like, I don't know, 30 minutes later. He's like, "Hey, listen, I've called 9 guys about this guy. Every guy says not to touch this guy. Like, there's no fucking way. He's fucking nuts. He's crazy." I said, no, I can control him. Like, trust me, it's a good crazy, you know? So like the coach tells the story about how, you know, everyone said no, and I said yes, and he just for some reason agreed with me and brought him in. And Lance ended up winning 2 championships there. Lance would never do anything all summer but drink, right? Never work out, right? So every time he'd have a horrible camp, and around Christmas time, he'd start getting in shape, and then he'd be a fucking beast in the playoffs. Well, we won the OHL. He led the playoffs in points and penalty minutes. And pound for pound, one of the toughest guys ever.
Says 5'10". He had 300 penalty minutes every year.
And just like you, Zenon, come summer skates, one speed. You would go to those money tournaments in Toronto, and he would be a nightmare to play against. I mean, he
was on. And he was like drunk at those things, like smash. Like I couldn't believe, I'm better now at drinking and playing, but like back then, if I had 3 or 4 beers, like I had a tough time like playing well. Like Lance would have like 18 beers and still get the game winner. Like it was unbelievable. So we end up fucking, so what happens now? Okay. I go to Utah at Christmas. My first AHL goal is the December 23rd against Milwaukee. We lose 2-1. I scored the only goal in my first game up. I get sent down the next day. I think I'm the only player. My first AHL goal, I get sent down the next day. First NHL goal, I get sent down the next day. Okay. So then they asked me if I wanted to drive or fly. So I drive the first time. The second time, I said, I'll fly for like 6 hours. I'm not, So I fly and I'm there the rest of the year. Now in Utah, we're not going to make the playoffs. And Don Hay is the coach. So I go to Don Hay. I said, listen, I want to get sent down. He goes, what? I said, listen, we're not making the playoffs here. And that coach took me with my bad ankle and he brought my guys and I want to go play. And he's like, no. He goes, you're an AHL player. If I send you there, you'll be an East Coast player. It's going to kill your career. He goes, you're not going. I said, yeah, but if I go down there, we win. I'm in a way better position. He goes, win? He goes, he had a kid on the team. He goes, you guys don't even have home ice advantage in the first round. How are you guys going to win? Like, I wish you were right, but you're not. You're not going, right? And I pleaded with him, and then he finally let me go. And it was 3 out of 5, the series. We went down 2-0. So he said, I'm not going to send you down till we're mathematically out. And, but if we don't play on the days when they start the playoffs, because the East Coast started early. So I flew to Vegas. We lost game 1, flew back, flew to Vegas for game 2. We lose game 2. And it was kind of like the Brophy thing. It was like, we in game 2, we're down a goal with like 30 seconds left, and we set up a play and look at Lance. I said, if we don't tie this game, go to overtime, we lose this game, we got to make a statement, right? And we had a big brawl at the fucking end of the game, and it was like, and then got into the hallways, and then like securities, and they're saying bye, and I said, we'll be back for game 5. I guarantee we'll be back. Like, just wait, make sure you fucking be ready for game 5. So then we won the next 2 games. We went back to base for game 5 and won game 5. And then we upset 3 more teams and won. It was pretty special.
You saw that coming. Like you could see it too. You had an idea you guys could win it. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. At that point, like I felt like in the NHL is different because I wasn't a dominant player in the NHL, but in the OHL on the East Coast, and then in the AHL, I was a pretty decent player. And then when it came down to it, if I had some dogs with me, it's like I'll take on any dogs with our dogs. Like, and it was just like eventually, as long as it's a series, 1 game you can lose, but in the series, it's like we're gonna fucking. And if we're not going to beat you, we're going to fucking take you down with us. I don't know. But yeah, it was, but there's repercussions, right? Like everybody wants their kid to be fucking like this, right? But like my body's fucking, I got 7 disc problems. There's repercussions to like you're playing as well, like now I got kids, my wife and 4 kids. And it's like certain days are like, geez, man. Oh,
but you wouldn't change it for the world though, AZ?
No. I always say, I would always still play to hurt and take the needles in the playoffs. But in the regular season, I don't know. Sometimes I was fucking taking needles to play in the regular season. Like, I might rethink that part of it if I had to go back.
We need to hear that Merle story.
Yeah. Great call. And we haven't even got to your time with the fucking Islanders for crying out loud. Oh my God.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to get we're gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to get the go ahead from Merle's before he tell us.
He's right. Merle's, can you tell the story?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said yes.
He gave it the thumbs up.
Thank you.
He's not even there. He'd be on the camera.
He's too much of a veteran.
He's doing a Body Armor ad for us right now. He's giving away free tickets
If
for the
it
finals.
doesn't involve
Well, I think
women, I think Merles would let you tell it.
he might lose the Body Armor commercial if I tell the story, but it's not like anyway.
We can
We
always.
got a little bit of trouble in San Antonio with the law. So
Oh, yeah, I actually have heard that. I actually have heard
Yeah,
that.
you guys all got arrested, right?
allegedly, yeah, maybe.
All right,
I think his version of the story was he came around the corner, Konopka was dummying someone on the sidewalk.
No, listen. Okay, now I have to tell the story because now it's going to sound worse than it was. But okay, so I get called up from the East Coast from Wheeling, West Virginia, and I'm pretty sure it's the same trip. We went on this trip. Like there was a snowstorm in Philadelphia. It took us like 24 hours to get to Utah, and then we go to San Antonio, and we're going to have a rookie party. And because I'm a call-up, I'm not involved in the actual rookie part of it, right? And we go out for this dinner, and again, I wasn't drafted, whatever. It was like pretty odd, pretty amazing. And our Pittsburgh's first round pick was a guy named Ross Lupischuk. Okay.
I played with Loopy.
Yeah. And when Loopy used to drink a little too much, then I don't know if you've seen that side of him, but he could get a little
Loopy.
Yeah, I think he's off this. I think he's off the sauce now.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's probably that's a pretty good decision, maybe, right? So we go to this piano bar, okay, and the two dueling pianos are going
All at the moon,
and I'm kind of at the back, right? Because like I'm a rookie call up, whatever. I'm just watching, drinking, whatever, right? And out of the corner of my eye, I look, and there's Ross Lupischuk like doing some taekwondo, like in the mirror or something. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Right now, everyone's facing the piano, so I'm the only one like kind of looking over. And he goes to do this kick, and I don't know if he meant to kick the wine glass or he was just doing this kick, and the wine glass got in the way. And he kicks the wine glass like halfway across the restaurant. And the bouncer looks over and they fucking grab him and start beating the shit out of him. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And like, no one's seeing this. So I jump in to try to like fucking pull these bouncers off. Now it's like, it turned into a fight, right? We're getting pushed towards the exit. Now, like, all of our guys are joining in, right? And I turn and I get suckered by a bouncer, and I'm like, it's just mayhem, right? And then the next thing I do, someone grabs me and I kind of rip my shoulder, and it's a cop. And I'm like, fuck. So, and I'm like, listen, I got nothing to do with that. I was just jumping in, like I got suckered, right? He's like, shut the fuck up, And out of all this, it was me, Murley, and Darcy Robinson, who I think has passed away, but were the three guys that were arrested. And Ross, none of these guys even got in trouble, right? And so I said, Mr. Police Officer, can I talk to you? I said, listen, I just jumped in to break it up. I had nothing to do with this. He's like, fucking go tell it to the fucking judge, blah, blah. So now we get to the jail, and it's like, there's a huge cell in San Antonio, and three of us go in. So now I'm like, again, like the jail guy, I'm like, hey, can I talk to you? I said, hey, there's a big misunderstanding here. Like, we were just trying to break it up. He's like, tell it to the fucking judge. Don't fucking tell me. Like, no one's giving us the time of day. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I remember those guys were kind of like, I'm like, well, we might as well fucking get a little bit of rest, right? So I put my like suit jacket down, and they're like, you're going to fucking sleep in here? There's like fucking 60 guys in here. Like, I'm like, what do you think is going to fucking happen, So in Texas, they had this law that you go in front of the judge. So like in the morning, it's like 8 a.m, okay? And we get three of us in front of this judge. And the judge is like, what happened? And we explained that, listen, we were just jumping in, trying to break things up. And I got a mark like under my eye, like I'm cut open. And he goes, okay. He goes, listen, there's two options. One is that we're going to have an arraignment. You guys can come back, and we're going to, we'll set, a trial. You can get some lawyers and stuff. Okay. Or option two, you pay a fine for a misdemeanor, and it doesn't go on your record or anything. Merle's is like, how much is the fine? He goes, $200. He goes, I'll pay all 3. I'm like, thanks, Merle's, right? Like, I was making like $300 in the minors, right, a week. And then boom, we're out. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God. Like, you know, like, cause kind of, and then you hear that the fucking news hit the TV or the paper back in Wilkes-Barre. And then I get called in at the rink that I'm getting sent down. I'm like, fuck, right?
I didn't even do anything.
Right? Well, like, you know.
You're usually the one asking to get sent down.
So I get sent down to Peoria, okay? And Wheeling is playing Peoria. And I come to the game and the radio guy goes, hey, listen, do you want me to tell Brophy or are you going to tell Brophy? I was like, oh my God, Brophy. And Brophy always told me, like, you know, stop going out so much. He had a meeting with me. He's like, why do you go out so much? Right? I was like, I don't know, like beers and going out. He said, okay, I'll make you a deal. I said, do you think it's affecting my play? He goes, no, definitely not affecting your play. But I don't want you to get labeled, you know, like, he goes, I'll let you go out as much as you want, as long as you don't go out with the guys. Then no one's going to know you're going out. I'm like, well, I don't want to go out then, right?
Yeah, what's the point?
Right? So he was always all over me about that. So now I'm like, fuck, I got to tell bro if this, he can kill me. Because he just said, stay out of trouble. Like, this is why you don't go out, because shit happens. It's not your fault. And then, you know, you're going to get a bad name, right? So I told the radio guy, I said, no, I'll tell him, but I'll tell him after the game, right? So I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to have a hell of a game. So I fucking fight this guy. We end up losing 2-1, but they were like a really good team. And I'm like, so I get on the bus, and Biz probably knows, like, Peoria to Wheeling is like, I don't know, 9 or 10 hours. It's like, and so I'm like 12 feet from Brophy, and I get up to tell him about this, and then I push you out and get back down, right? And I got, okay, I'll have a couple more beers, then I'll tell him. Like, I do this for 10 hours. I'm so scared to tell him, like, so we get to fucking Wheeling, right? Now it's daylight because it's the morning, right? And he goes, all right, you know, we'll see you on Tuesday, you know. I said, Brophy, I got to talk to you. He goes, whatever it is, I can wait till Tuesday. I was like, no, I can't, right? And he goes, oh. Well, he's like, all right, come in my office, right? And I'm so fucking scared. I'm like, and he's like, what happened? I said, well, you know my mark on my eye here? I said, I didn't get that from playing. I said, I got into an altercation at a bar, and, you know, I got arrested, right? And he goes, well, for what? What happened? I said, told him the story. I said, well, one of the players kicked the wine glass, started beating the shit out of him. I jumped in and tried to fucking help him. And he leans back in his chair and goes, you know how many fucking times I've been arrested for other guys' stupid shit? He goes, don't fucking worry about it. I'm like, I stressed for 10 hours on the way home. I could have been having like, yeah. So Merle's was very nice. Like, Merle's was like, I think, our second round pick or third round pick. And he was super awesome guy to like the younger guys. And yeah.
That's why Whit always wants him around. He's his gambling buddy, his drinking buddy.
You know, yeah, I just brought him in the mix. Like, we need this guy on the road. He came to meet us, Philly-Washington game. We were doing a Pink Whitney event, and gave out the draw as the bet of the night, plus 330, and it went to overtime. And ever since then, Merles has never looked back stopped gambling.
He's an awesome dude, man. Awesome dude.
All right, well, we have so much to talk about, but we got another
interview with Cal Clutterbuck after this.
We got to do round 2 with you. Hey, do you play golf?
I do.
Oh boy, that would be a fun one.
You know what we should do is we should get you and Klutzy for a sandbagger.
That's actually not bad because I'm not that good and he's really good.
Yeah,
he's nasty.
All right, we got the Roback last question, but you ask it. But let me just read the code. Code Chiclets at roback.com. Generous 20% off your first purchase through the end of this week. CHICLETS on RHOBACK.com. 20% off all polos, shorts, swim trunks, and more with code Chiclets. Biz, give it to him.
We're going to have to bypass Tampa Bay this time. Your time in Columbus, no Ottawa, no Minnesota, no Buffalo, but the New York Islanders. You played all 82 games. You had 2 goals, 7 assists, 370 penalty minutes. I'm going to name you some of the guys on this roster down here. Well, obviously yourself and where is it?
Ross
was
Johnson.
Gillies not on this team?
Oh yeah, Trevor Gillies. Oh yeah.
He used to patrol the red line in warm-ups, even when he wasn't playing. He was
like
I
I played with Gills in the minors too, right? And we were kind of kind of buddies before. I love Gills. I say this, okay? I think Gills was the scariest fighter of all time, okay? And now there was guys that were bigger and stuff like that, but he was a lefty and he was crazy and he loved fighting. Like most of these guys don't like, he loved fighting. We used to fight in the street. So when I played with him in Portland, okay, we would get drunk and start wrestling around and, and then the next year he went to this fucking Muay Thai guy and he's fucking kneeing me. And I'm like, oh, fuck. He goes, yeah, I learned this over the summer, these knees, right? I'm like, Gills, fucking stop my fucking ribs, right? And he's drunk and he keeps doing it right. I get into the fucking trainer's room, like they want to shut me down because I got fucking bruised ribs, and they think it's. I've got to tell them it's from the game, but it's from Gills. So no, I love Trevor Gillies. Fuck.
Hey, you want to know something pretty cool? Nobody has had more PIMs than you ever since, and I'd be willing to say ever again in one season in the NHL.
Yeah,
Wow.
my two little like kind of claim to fame. I was the last guy to have over 300 penalty minutes. And I was the second best face-off guy of all time, percentage-wise.
Yeah, what was it about? Like, what made you so good at those?
He was fucking nibbling on the guy's ears before he fucking won the fight.
Oh, yeah.
It started
Hannibal
like
Lecter.
when I was 12 years old, we had a non-parent coach, and they kept stats, and they kept plus minus, they kept hits, takeaways, and face-offs. So when you get a piece of paper with your buddies, like you want to be the best at that. Then when I go to Ottawa, you don't play center if you can't take draws. And I started realizing, and I mean, like Biz did a pretty good job of figuring out like little things that are going to keep you around, like there's like little things that would just, and like being able to take face-offs, man, like even now it's even more important with puck possession. If they had analytics back then, they would have played a little longer, because when you start with the puck, especially on the power play and stuff like that. So I was on teams where I would just take the, face off on the power play and get off.
Well, Z, man, we can't thank you enough.
You're a
this
legend,
has been
dude.
highly entertaining, as always. You haven't changed a bit. I wish we could go to, where would we hang out in St. Kitts there where we would get in the bar scraps sometimes?
Jailhouse.
Yeah, you.
What a name.
What was that whole
Brophy
area?
owned it.
What was
Scotty's
that?
wife there.
Yeah, Brophy was the fucking manager of it. What was the whole area called though?
Port Dalhousie.
Port Dalhousie, buddy.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days.
No doubt. Yeah.
I'm fascinated by this Brophy guy. Did he have like a family, any like grandkids at that age? Like, was there any soft spots to this man?
He was going out when he coached us. He was going out with this girl, this lady that was, she used to be on the LPGA tour. She wasn't like anything to look at. And that was, I think they got married, and then that was his fourth marriage. And I'm pretty sure that didn't last too long either.
No shit. Hey, no shit.
He's the best. You guys should do a Brophy show. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we should get like 20 guys that played for him. Everyone
There's 20
gets like
million that played for him.
Was Arpad Mahali on your team when you played with him?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
when you played for, oh my god.
So when I did a charity event, we went to Thunder Bay, and there was a bunch of ex-Leaf guys, right? So there's Clark there, Steve Thomas, Frady, right? And the plane's delayed, right? And somehow one of the guys asked me, he said, "Did you play for John Brophy?" And I'm like, yeah, I played with. And they're like, "Hey, get over here. He played for Brophy." No way, fuck, right? Then they started telling Brophy stories in Toronto and stuff like that. And before you know it, the whole airport is around us, laughing and dying. And like Gary Lehman, it was like they had so many. Like it was
even more old school when they had him, and he probably could get away with more because he was with the Leafs. But it's kind of like that skit from SNL to Bill Brasky. To John Brophy. Well, Z.
All right, Z.
You're the best, man.
Thank you so
awesome,
much,
dude.
buddy.
You've
You're a
done so
legend.
much for hockey and the future of hockey. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
This episode of Spittin Chiclets is brought to you by Body Armor Flash IV. Flash IV delivers faster, longer-lasting hydration with over 2,000 milligrams of electrolytes, 2,000, and no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners like those other drinks.
I played golf in the heat. It was like 98 degrees. I'm just exhausted. I'm gassed. Boom. Body Armor Flash IV. Feel phenomenal the next day. Just feel better than I would have if you hadn't drank it. Because you put it in your system and you know it's natural. There's none of that junk. There's none of the crap that's in the competitors. It tastes great. You feel good after you have it. And it is not bad for you. So whether you're training, traveling, or just feeling the heat, work hard. Hydrate hard with Body Armor Flash IV and grab yours today at your local 7-Eleven convenience store. Right now, go over there to a 7-Eleven and grab a Body Armor Flash IV. You'll thank me later. Thank you so much to Zenon Konopka. That he had some stories. I mean, great storyteller, awesome player, just the way he went about his entire career. I wish I got to play with him. I mean, we need a sandbagger with him because I think he'll be electric on the course.
Yeah, it could be like another round of when you guys had Bugsy and be a fist fight with Biz on one of the tee boxes with him. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, what a treat of a guy. And you could tell he just loves the game too, right? Like, figured out he knew if he was going to last in the NHL, he needed to be good on faceoffs, and he did it. And, you know, had a hell of a career and still loves the game, right? He's still giving back. That's awesome.
Yeah. So many penalty minutes. I'm just looking at his career stats right now. It's crazy.
Someone was actually telling a story at Kachuk's wedding about Konopka that like he would be, you know, taking a face off and it'd be like towards the end of the year and he'd be like, hey guys, or to the center, he'd be like, dude, I got like a $250,000 bonus if I'm like top 5 in the league. Let me snap this one back. There's 2 minutes left. You're up by 6. Just let me win this one. And guys would be like, all right, I don't want to get my head punched in. Just let him win the face off. It was unreal.
And if you say no, I'm going to jump you and just smash your nose in before the off season.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great interview. Stranglers are ready. Oh, actually, no, you just mentioned, how was Kachuk's wedding? Did Brady give the best man speech?
Yeah, he did. It was great, short, sweet, you know, got all the emotions going, you know, that any brother does. But yeah, he was awesome. The wedding was absolutely beautiful. It was typical Chucky too. It was a 15-20 minute mass and then right back to the hotel to start partying. It was beautiful, the way it should be. But yeah, they threw on a great party. Ellie's family, Walt and Chantel, Matthew and Ellie. It was amazing from top to bottom. Everything first class. It was fun, and those weddings are always fun. You get to see guys that you played against, and you know you feel bad when you go with your wife because you never even talk to her because you're just talking hockey with the guys. And but it was a blast. Great to see those guys.
At the airport on the way home, you're like, Kristen, that was a fun weekend, huh? She's I haven't seen you. Were you one of the guys carrying Walt?
No, God, no. No,
Brady's got the shirt off. That was just scenes.
Yeah, it was funny.
Looked awesome.
So
Stranglers are ready.
That.
Group chat's going.
Group chat's going. Boys are picking out their numbers for the jerseys. Sending me clips of them training, getting ready, playing in some upcoming tournaments. Yeah, the boys are ready. And see, the thing about Biz's team, I don't think that they're taking this like, it's just another ball hockey tournament. My guys, I think they realize, what it takes to win this. They know what it means to us to beat Biz. Because if we come on this podcast for a couple weeks after that, losing to him, it's going to be absolute hell. So I think our team, they know what it means to us and what it will mean to them, and they're ready to go. And it's on home soil too. It's huge.
The home soil is a big aspect. Also, I think there's going to be like a shitload of people at these games. At least your guys' game. It's going to be like, I've talked to a bunch of buddies that are going to go. Yeah, I mean, I think the big deal selects, they want to win. Like truly, like they want to win. They just go so hard. They get out from the first night. I mean, I think Biz mentioned a couple times, like, let's try to like not go too hard that first night. You're telling Terry Ryan to not go hard,
especially in Boston, which is kind of like a Newfoundland. He might not show up.
All right, dude. Thank you so much for hopping on, everyone. I hope you enjoyed us kind of catching up. I'll be back for sure next week. Maybe Yance will join me. Maybe Biz. We'll see. And have a great week.